Do it live. Welcome to Evil Dojo. I'm getting back to Ascii shade development today, but it's Sunday, so I want to start the way that I wanted to start a couple days ago, where we just chillax and listen to a little bit of video, a little bit of audio by an inspirational speaker, to try and give me inspiration to say inspiring things to you, my audience, my loving fan base, whom I would not be here without. Hope everyone's having a good day today. Give me 1 second here. I have to do something important. Yes. Yes, yes. We got our self view right here. Could use some more graphics, make it look nice, and all that good shit. Um, should tell people we're live, right? And we're good to go. So, back to the main view. So, who likes $1,000,000 Extreme? I'm a fan, not gonna lie. Um, I should have my Twitch chat out, right? Make that a separate window. There we go. So, who likes $1,000,000 Extreme? Who likes Sam Hyde? I know y'all are fans, don't lie to me. I was just watching AI generated Peter Griffin, and one of the fans of that show is a fan of Sam Hyde. They sent in a suggestion for Sam Hyde fighting Hassan Piker, which I think is fucking funny as fuck. Actually, that used to be my ringtone. A little blurb of Sam spouting at him. But I've been fan of Sam Hyde's for almost a decade now. Pretty sure I got onto his material in 2014. Back when world peace was kind of a thing. And apparently World Peace 2 is in production, so I'm really excited about that. But dudes be like, yo, inspiration. Here we go. Because these dudes were doing their own thing way before I was really doing my own thing in the way that I really needed to be going about things. And it's taken time, and it's taking time still, but I feel like I've learned a lot from people like this. So let's listen to what he has to say before I get started here. Right? It's up on the bed. Hold on. Oh shit. Yes. Hmm. Oh, whoops. That was really good. I got a lot done during that video. Now I can take a brief moment to check the chats. I hope everyone resonated with that material as much as I did. In the last 30 minutes, I have implemented block delete, basic block delete. So watch it. Check this out, right? I did it with ChatGPT's help, as well as Copilot. So let's get into main. So let's actually create a new Ascii. I'm going to call it test 2. So let's say you're doing a bunch of blocks, right? There we go. So now we got a square. Delete key will delete a single block. Actually, not really delete it. It'll actually set it to the default the default colors. And actually, if I wanted to kind of play around with this idea, yeah. All right, so now we've got some blocks. We're going to hit delete, and it actually deletes. Now we're going to do backspace, and it backspaces. So now we need to throw this into the text mode, right? Um, all right, so it's key DC and key backspace. So we're going to go ahead and copy these lines of code into another function. It doesn't really matter where in the if statement chain that we put it at the moment, unless we were trying to optimize for certain keystrokes coming or being handled before others, which that might happen in the future. But for right now, it's not really that big of a deal. So if the key is delete, we will delete the block. And if it's backspace, we'll backspace. Make sure it works in text mode. Oops. There we go. Pretty good. You're going to see a lot more Asciis coming from me in the coming weeks. It's going to be pretty ridiculous. Okay. So that's good. This is good news. Because I'm going to come up with a lot of use cases that enable me to very rapidly create ASCIIs from the command line. And it would be cool if other people start using it. There's a big debate on whether or not there's any merit to or need. It's like, do we need any of this technology? Right? Like, do we need any of the shit that people use on a day-to-day basis? A lot of it's not even really good. The least we can do is actually make good software and work towards a future where all of the things that we use on a day-to-day basis actually have not only the utility that they claim to have, but also operate near the limits of physics and light speed itself, as close to it as we can get. Because these computers are fast nowadays and highly, like, the big theory I have is that most people's computing devices spend more time rendering user interfaces than they do actually performing computation work, like real, actual utility things that don't just make it look nice for you, like something that actually does something. People are actually running fucking TensorFlow on their phones now, and it's the kind of thing I think about when I think like, yo, um, what the fuck are we doing? So this happened in town. Little brief news segue. Someone linked this. This was today. A Texas airport worker was killed after being sucked into a jet engine at San Antonio International Airport on Friday night, according to a report. Emergency crews were called to the tarmac just before 10:30 p.m. after reports that a ground worker had been ingested, air quotes, into the engine of a plane that had just landed. It's not the first time I've heard this either. Crazy shit, man. Fuck, what is going on? Whoa. Haha. Let's see. If y'all have not done so, definitely check out my website. This is a good example of that whole idea I was just talking about. Software should be fast. My site loads fast as fuck. There's a lot that I've done to make it load that fast. One of the things that I'd like to do for y'all is point out that I'm giving away DigitalOcean credits now because they have proven to be the superior VPS solution. So if you need some creds, come hit them up. I got them. Okay. So with that said, we should probably commit this code, right? Probably get out of text mode. There we go. I realize the documentation for Ascii shade is currently lacking significantly. One of my goals is to make a documentation ASCII, actually write the documentation in ASCII form so that, one, it's more entertaining to look at, and two, I start to fully articulate my vision and all of the current functionality. But I want to wait until I've gotten it to a sufficient point where I feel it is now time to, document everything that we have. I don't want to keep the, I don't want to drop the momentum of feature development until that point. It's like a checkpoint is coming up, but we're not there yet. So, with that in mind, the changes that we just made were that we implemented blocks, like block deletion using backspace and delete. Okay, so now we're going to check out the main. We're going to merge with block delete, and then we're going to delete block deletes. So now it's all cleaned up, and we're ready to move on to the next feature. The next feature load from file probably will be easier in the long run. They're both kind of complicated functions, and I haven't fully thought out undo yet. Right? Like, at the moment, there's no like mass block putting down. Everything is like one unit at a time. So it's relatively easy to keep track of what your most recent action was. But for more complicated type things, I'm going to have to restructure how commands are interpreted. Essentially, in order to keep track of like your most recent command, we have to kind of like create a command object that represents the command to be processed, and then have a command processor actually processes and handles the actual command. And then we can have something that's like an array that keeps track of how many commands you've entered, and up to a certain point will allow for some undo capability. And the reason that we would want to do that is just to have a little bit more flexibility, because then we'd be able to have as many undos as we'd want. You know, the sky's kind of the limit. At the moment, we'd only really be able to like undo one at a time, or undo once rather, and then like that's it. That's not very useful. What is useful, however, is being able to load from file. It's being able to resize the canvas. Um, Resize canvas. Um, Navigate a larger canvas than fits inside the terminal window. Or yeah. So loading a file, what's involved in this? To load a file, we're going to have to read the whole file in and get a sense of how many characters per line, or, well, yeah, because it's really the characters that we want to count, right? Like the control characters and the numerical sequences would have to be skipped. Because I was also thinking about creating my own file format to allow for easy conversion between formats. But in the very beginning, I'm just working with basic IRC ASCII format. So when you're reading in arbitrary ASCII, and there could be attacks on the system, I'm trying not to rabbit hole like that. Load from file. You have to count. We could enforce some reasonable limits on the lengths of each row because I believe traditional IRC only allows for like 50 characters or 80 characters per line or 120 or something like that. It might be server dependent. Not sure. So when we're loading from file, we're going to have some utilities that count the like handle the file stuff, right? Like let's see. Now the problem with having all of this stuff in one file is while it does compile really fast, now I've reached a point where I have a utility I need to write and I need to be able to test it briefly outside of the main before it actually gets to main. So to do this, we're going to say Ascii shade tools.h. Or no, we're just going to call it tools. All right, so in tools.c, int load, read ASCII. Right, wait. Because ideally we don't have to read the file in twice, but I could be really lazy to begin with, just to like get this working. So actually let's see. Read ASCII from file. File in file. I don't know if I need standard lib to use file, but whatever. Read ASCII from file in file. Printf. Actually, it should do file path. All right, so here we're setting up a buffer of size 1024 in order to read one line at a time from the file. Um, we don't know how many lines there could be in the file, though. And this is going to overwrite each line as we read it in. Um, so if we wanted to start off with some default value, like um, and actually temporary can't see the way that we're going to end up having to read this in. See, every character here is not going to be a real character. It's going to be a wide character, possibly. So, oh shit, it's actually using get line. Um, so that's tools. Now we need to add it to our make file. Uh, okay, so we gotta fix that. Uh, okay, so implicit declaration of printf. Incompatible pointer type. Okay, it expected to double character. What if I can just get away with doing it as a char for right now? Oh, Okay, so that compiles that links. Now we have to unit test driver.c. All right, so we're just going to do some real basic shit here. Um, no, we don't need that. We need tools.h. Super basic. I gotta update the make file. Um, oh, file path. Whoops. There we go. Oh, that's funny. So that's what it looks like if you go to directly print out the ASCII on the command line after having read it in, right? So all the control characters are not even being shown, and you see the codes, the color codes used for certain sections, but that doesn't tell us how big it is, right? That's one of the things that we want to do here is it's not that we want the length of the line, but like for int I equals 0, I is less than the length of the line, and I plus plus, it's going to attempt to print a character, right? We're going to wrap each character in little bricks to indicate. So now you can see that like the blocks show up as question marks. The control characters and others are empty spaces, and there actually is a new line at the very end here. Or is it? It's just a long space. No, it's a new line. Damn, that's a hell. That's a new line, motherfucker. Or yeah, it is a new line. Damn, I might actually be storing a new line or writing it out. Uh, we don't necessarily want to write the new line out. Uh, I'll have to look into that. So if why um W char T of C is line I. Well, I didn't realize there was a continue statement in C. I don't think there is. Okay, so we're detecting when we're actually reading in control characters. We don't need to think about them when we're actually computing uh, the size of the canvas. If it is equal to control character, um, we can expect the following sequence. Actually, I don't know what the max color is. It's 10. And I actually haven't really worked with the colors past this yet. So we have to keep into consideration what this, because otherwise it returns the color itself. And this is not a accurate function. We're not defining all 16 colors that we have access to in curses. Two, not scaling up to all of the colors that in curses or IRC can handle, which is an important note. So it really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is what we currently support. So if I actually did my homework right, actually, I don't need those anymore. And this can be defined in terms of 8 by 8. So now the max color is 3F, which is 63, because 40 and hex is 64, right? So that's how that works. We've been live just a little bit over an hour. What else do we have to do before I go? We're still doing tools.c, trying to calculate what the actual outputted color codes should be. So like when we're going to save a file, yeah, we're actually not padding the values with any digits. We could do that. And I think that would be better. Because then over here, so they're doing it as characters. And they're copying individual digits. Well, that's not how I would want to do it. No. I want to do like F scan F or something. Hmm. There we go. See, that's way smarter. But I don't know if that's going to actually mess up the file pointer. Now I think about it. Oh, but it is in line too, so bleh. Here. Here we're doing it a character at a time. Um, fget wc. That's something that I have access to in my main. Is that like a whr function? Oh shit, it is. Um, that's not the whole thing, is it? Oh yeah. Okay. So it's crashing on um attempting to read in the first block character, it looks like. Oh, it's actually getting out of the driver before. So it must be getting to a character that is interpreting as end of file. Um, excuse me. We could do everything on a character by character basis when we're reading it in. It'd give us a little bit more control. There's probably a more proper way to do this. Running out of time to get ready for a meeting, though. Tools doesn't need to be. Yeah, it does. It needs to be part of that because we're about to use it. See, actually printing it out this way, we get the full thing. We can actually read in the whole character, and they render perfectly fine. We could probably even find a way to render ASCIIs on the command line too. That'd be a big goal. Um, loading from file. If C is new line, we're going to print the word new line. Yeah, we actually are storing new lines. Holy shit. I don't mean to be storing new lines. That should be up to the interpreter. Or should it? Fuck. Because, yeah, if you store an ASCII and you want to cat it out, you're going to have the new lines in there. So if we encounter a new line, so like if we want to count int characters per line, there we go. Int max characters per line. If characters per line is greater than max characters per line, then we update characters or max characters per line. If C is not equal to control character and C is not equal to new line, characters per line plus plus. Okay, so int lines equals 0. Width by height. Or height by width. 18 by 121. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that's because we're counting the characters there. If the character is a control character, we have to read the next character. No. A color code follows inform 0, 0, comma 0, 0. Single digit numbers may or may not have a leading 0, such as 0, 1, or 1, followed by a comma and oops. Int fg color equals -1. F scan F. So this way, we keep the file pointer correctly updated, and we don't actually have to print those out. And we get the file pointer in the next location. We could print them. Oh no. Yeah, well, we got rid of that other thing, so that makes sense. Uh-oh, no new lines. Um, uh, oh, and it's not printing the value at the bottom. Zero, -1, huh? Whoa. Uh, oh, wait. Yeah, it's not actually ever printing the new line. So I find that kind of interesting. Oh, whoops. Characters per line. Let's see. Oh crap! I gotta go soon. Maybe I should do the character based counting. At least there, now it's printing out correctly again, but we still have to like count things correctly. So what if we count the number to start with, and then if it's actually a control character, then we characters per line minus minus. So that's actually correctly updating for each row. But now we have to subtract out the numbers. I'm going to leave that code in because we could use it. I'm going to go say hi to Grandma before my students. Let me go ahead and check this code in. All right, guys. It has been a good stream, productive, getting shit done. If you want more like this, you know what to do. Give me money, follow, subscribe, pay attention to me, share my shit, chat with me. You know what to do. Evil Dojo keeping it real.